Hello everybody, welcome to Fruitful Trees, and I wanted to give you an update here on my property and what's been growing on here, because I've been putting all these videos out lately about mango trees and mango season and what mangoes grow best and what mangoes don't grow best in different areas. But as the summer comes, like last summer, I want to give people an idea and show everybody the trees on a month-by-month basis of how they're growing. I do this for your information, but also for my historical information, so I get to see each year how things are growing and what's growing on. So we're going to do that now. We're going to start off in Mango Land, and then we're going to head over to my other property as well, and we're going to see the mango trees and just get an idea. And I got some other great things happening as well. Also, for those of you that don't know, if you didn't sign up already, Mango Festival, Florida Mango Festival 2025. I'll put the website below, is happening. We're getting a lot of people signing up. It's going to be great, and all the information is there. Depending when you're seeing this video, go to the website. It's going to be June 29th, 2025. The website is below. It's www.floridamangofestival.com. And if you're watching this after June 29th, we're going to have one next year and the year after. So always go to that website and check it out. So I have these trees here that I purchased, knowing somewhat about mango trees, but not knowing what's doing best and not doing best. And I continuously learn and come to new conclusions. So I'm going to turn the camera around and we're going to look at some of these trees that I picked and see how they're doing and what I would have done differently. Here we go. And for the sake of my recording this and my history of this, we are right now March 18th, 2025, I believe. Okay, the garden and the yard does need to be cleaned up a little, but I don't want that to stop us from seeing all the trees and everything else that's happening. This here is my first tree that I want to discuss. This is Peach Cobbler. So I'm giving you an idea. You can see my previous videos to see how and when I plant these, but Peach Cobbler is doing okay. It has some flowers there, and I've been making videos recently about spraying versus not spraying. I did spray all these trees with sulfur this year, maybe 2 or 3 applications, and I sprayed them with copper maybe 2 or 3 times. But since my last video, I've decided I'm gonna try not spraying anymore and see how that works. I'm gonna try it. I'm not saying I'm never gonna do it again, but I think I'm gonna attempt not to spray, because you can see the video for that. But anyway, here is Peach Cobbler. It's looking good. It's growing well. Peach Cobbler is a very vigorous variety. It's one of the ones that Alex at Tropical Acres said is the best to grow in California, because it won't grow as fast there. But that's Peach Cobbler. And here is Little Gem. This might be one of the most productive trees here. Look at all those baby mangoes on there. Little Gem. And my neighbor has a tree as well, which is just flourishing so much with all of these flowers. Little Gem. I don't know if I didn't spray, would it have been any different? But all the way this whole tree around is thriving. And this is a late season variety. Some people ask me about the flavor. The only thing with the flavor, it's a little inconsistent, because sometimes they'll be great and sometimes they'll just be okay. And I asked Alex about that, and he said that's because there's just so many on here that all of the flavor can't just go to one. So if you're going to thin it out, that might help. But that's Little Gem. One of the latest season mangoes you'll find hanging on the tree. My observation of this, and one of the reasons why it might be doing so well, is because I cut back the banana trees there, and this is getting more sun. And I'm starting to see the advantages of not doing ultra high density. Getting sun on the trees as much as possible definitely will help. And so this is the Little Gem tree here. And I had initially a 015 tree right here. And the 015, this is why I do all these videos on spacing. I have a Sunrise there. Sunrise goes super vigorous. And Little Gem is not as vigorous, but 015 would have been tremendously vigorous. If I had that 015 there still, it wouldn't have worked. It might have worked for a couple of years, but eventually it would have been too big. So I have this banana tree here now that I'm actually cutting out. It's a Dwarf Namwa. There's another rack coming on there. I'm going to eventually cut that out. Leave that space open for the trees. This is my Apricot Mango tree, not one that a lot of people know about. This is one I moved. I had it in the ground in a different area. Pardon the mess in the background. I'll talk to my tenants about that. But this is an Apricot Mango tree that I'm putting in this area. And I don't know if it's the ideal area, but I have run out of space. And it's a good distance away from the sunrise. But it's a little close to the Little Gem. But that's the only space I could find. And behind me, there's a big space, so there's nothing else here, so it'll give that whole thing space. This here is one, these are actually the two that I want to find permanent spots for. This one's Orange Essence, and then the Apricot when it grows. But the Orange Essence tree, I'm just keeping here now for budwood. It's a wonderful tree. I love it, but it's way too close to my sunrise. So I will be moving that Orange Essence, another great example. 10 feet is too close. Look at that. It's too close. 10 feet doesn't work. It doesn't. Even if I scale back that sunrise, it's not going to work. But that is Orange Essence. It's excellent. So ultimately, if I had the space, the Orange Essence and the Apricot, I'm going to try to top work another tree with those two so I could remove them from this area if possible. And that would be my sunrise tree, which I love this mango. This is my favorite tasting mango of all. And Alex says it's a pretty good mango, disease resistance wise. But I had an interview I did with Zill's nursery, and they said this one doesn't do good disease wise. I have several trees, and they seem to be doing pretty well, and there's a bunch of mangoes there. I'm happy with this. We'll see how it goes. And I'm not showing you all my trees today. I'm just showing you my mango trees. This is a Karen Michelle. I have no room, and I wanted to get one in the ground basically for budwood, but it's grown really well, and it's starting to flower really well. This is a temporary tree because I want to keep 20 feet between my trees, but I put this one here temporarily to try to get a couple of years of mangoes from it. And so this is Karen Michelle, and it looks like it's doing well. I originally had a pina colada here that I took out. I was going to leave this space open, but I wanted to get a Karen Michelle in the ground. This is my Dot tree. This is Dot. It's doing well. Excellent mango. All these are pretty vigorous trees. This one here is Triple Sec, also known as Sea Crest. And right now I'm keeping it. I love the flavor of this one, but it hasn't fruited as well as others. Alex says it just puts out a lot more male flowers, so that might be one of the issues. There's some mangoes on here, but nowhere near as much as the other trees. But that's Triple Sec, also known as Sea Crest. Over here is my coconut cream. Coconut cream, it's newer in the ground and it hasn't fruited yet in previous years. And this one got hit pretty hard by, it looked like, anthracnose. But it looks like it's trying to fruit, and there's several fruits on there right now. And this is a controversial one. Some people say it's amazing and it fruits great. Some people say it's inconsistent. It tastes great regardless, so I'm going to keep an eye on that one. But it's coming along with another bloom and trying to put some fruit out. Over here is Sugarloaf. I have another Sugarloaf, and Sugarloaf puts out a lot of male flowers. So if you don't know about mangoes, it looks like it's doing amazing, but then it doesn't. It's the sweetest mango I've ever tasted. In a good way, it's delicious. But this is not the best spot for it. This is a candidate to be removed after this mango season, just to open up this area. And over here, I have a white Piri, and traditionally this is very bad with powdery mildew. But I don't know if it was me spraying sulfur or not, but last year this tree did wonderful and I didn't spray anything. And this year I sprayed and it is loaded. It's loaded. So I'll see if it's going to be more loaded than it is last year. But that's definitely one that, I don't know. Last year I didn't spray and it did okay, but we'll see if it makes a difference this year. Now over here, I originally had a K3, a Kathy, but I wanted the space open to go 20 feet. So this is a temporary tree I put here. It's a fruit punch and it has fruit on here. That's temporary. Eventually that's going to go. I haven't made my decision on the seed crest if that's going to go, but I want the space somewhat open for these trees to breathe. This here is a phoenix. It hasn't fruited yet. It's a newer tree, one of my newest in the ground here. There's 1 or 2 fruits on there this year. Let's see how that does. As you can see, I opened up things. This here, I had a Giselle mango that I had taken out. And there was a banana growing here, but I recently took out the banana. It's starting to grow back. I'm going to get rid of that. But and there is Super Alfonso. What can I say? One of the stars of the show here. Super Alfonso. Great tasting. It's fruiting wonderful. And that's Super Alfonso. This is a temporary tree here. This is my, this one's my buttercream. Buttercream is supposed to do great with disease. And it tastes wonderful. It's a very big mango. It's already, look how big that is. It's from a spacing standpoint, it's not in the best spot. And I don't have room to replant. So buttercream, I was going to keep it a temporary, but last year it tasted so good. So we'll see. Now over here I have Guava. Guava mango. And again, these are just my mango trees. I have other fruit trees around as well. But this is guava. Now, if I remove the buttercream, that puts 20 feet between my trees. I believe 10 feet is too close. 20 feet is better, at least on 3 sides of the tree. But guava mango is looking really well this year. Got some big mangoes on there already. And this one of my biggest or widest trees and fruiting great this year. This one is called Graham. Now, Graham's tricky because if it taste is on, it's one of the best tasting. But it's kind of inconsistent. It might be due to watering or rain, but it's doing really well this year. That's guava. And I'm going to cut all of these back at the end of the year. That apricot I had showed you was originally there. And my idea was I'm going to let apricot grow here and eventually get rid of the Pickering. But Pickering is such a great insurance mango. I decided to keep that and move the little guava. So that's Pickering right there, looking great. And this is a tree in previous videos years ago I actually got from leaf. And it was like this big. We cut it back, took it out of the ground, and moved it here. And look how it came back. It's looking really well. This tree here is Sweet Tart. And Sweet Tart, look at that. Look at that. Sweet Tart is my first grafted tree, the first tree that I grafted in a pot. And I planted it there. It's looking nice. Okay, coming around here, I have Fruit Cocktail. My biggest disappointing tree, Fruit Cocktail. Just not doing well. This is one I might top work to the Orange Essence. Orange Essence, I might move over here and top work this Fruit Cocktail. The Fruit Cocktail tastes great, but it's just not performing for me well. So I'm going to give it a little bit more time before I make my decision. There's Cotton Candy. Cotton Candy looks like it's doing well this year. See how that turns out. Coming here, I have a seedling mango. Just for the fun of it, I threw a seedling in there. Nothing happening with that yet. This one's Malika. It's getting shaded out from the seedling mango, but it's trying. It's trying. That's a seedling. Coming over here, I have an Edgar. And Edgar is not doing much. It's tried, but not much happening there. That's Edgar. Over here, I have another seedling that I top worked. I put a Taymour on here and also some apricot. I got them a little mixed up, so I'll have to wait and see which one comes out. But I think this one's the apricot, and if so, it's looking nice. And there's another one over there. This is my ST Maui that I did from a 1 gallon, and look how nice that's growing. And it grows really big and has a nice space to grow here. All right, over here we have a Kesar, completely getting shaded out by my neighbor's Namduk Mai, which isn't doing well on this side of the shady side of the tree, but the other side is doing really nice. His Namduk Mai. But Kesar is there, it's growing. Over here we have a Carla. And Carla is growing a little bit slower. It's half shaded from the Namduk Mai, but it's reaching for the sun. That's Carla. Over here I have a Sun Piri. It's a smaller one, Sun Piri. And here I have an ice cream. The big disappointment. Even though I have some fruit on there this year. It's such a delicious mango, but it's ice cream. There's actually a good amount of fruit on there. Wow. That's ice cream. Coming here, I have my CeciLove. This one I heard was bulletproof. And not much on there. So it's kind of disappointing, but it's a newer tree and it hasn't fruited yet this year. But that's CeciLove. Then over here I have an Angie. You can't go wrong with Angie. Look at Angie. Angie's looking great. All right, that's the Angie. Then over here we have Pineapple Pleasure. This one is a tough one to grow. And I had some good fruit on there last year, but not much. This was a transplant from my other yard, but it should be doing better now. That's Pineapple Pleasure. All right, so that's the back here. Now we're going to go to the front and see what's happening in the front. Alrighty, we have Tess Pollack. Tess Pollack. A good mango compared to everything else, not the best, but certainly growing excellent. That's Tess Pollack. Now one of my favorite in the yard here, Bulletproof Honey Kiss. And not much on there. These bananas around it are going to be coming out. It's getting half shaded by the Tess Pollack, which if I have to keep one of the two, I'm going to keep the Honey Kiss. It's really tight here, everybody. So some of these are definitely coming out after this season. There's Juliette. First year with mangoes. Maybe the last year here. We'll see. Rosiegold. Another one I think I might take out. It's fruiting well. Flavor and space-wise, not in the ideal position. There's another ice cream that I have. And these are smaller growing trees, so they can get away with being grown closer. That's ice cream. And over here, we have my I think is this Brahm Kai Meu or one of these Thai ones that's doing really well this year. Late season green mango that's actually sweet. Doing really well this year. And this one, it looks like this banana tree is about to crush it, but it's not going to. And the bananas are almost ready to take off. But this one is Pim Sen Mun. Trying to get the green ones here in the front that nobody's going to bother or disturb. Like I said, these bananas are going to eventually come out. But Pim Sen Mun. And there's one more mango tree that I have. I'll go over the rest of the yard another time. One more mango tree to show you. And that is the Neelam. And on this Neelam, I also planted several grafts that actually took from a seedling. So we'll see how those seedling grafts do. Here's one. So that is that. That's just an update on the mangoes here. There's also a lemon zest graft on this tree. It's been here for a while. I will go next door now to my yard and show you what's growing. All right, moving along here with some mangoes. We got Pickering, looking really well. Loaded with mangoes. That's our Pickering. Coming here, this was a Cogshall that was bigger, but I had cut it back and I top worked this with ice cream, and it looks like the ice cream's coming out there, but the other side is still Cogshall. And at the end there's some Cogshall. Not my favorite mango, the Cogshall at all, but beautiful early variety, so I figured I'd have it there. Coming through here to show everybody else in the front. Here we have a Jehangir for the first year. Jehangir flowering and giving some fruit. Jehangir with no water. Looking nice. Before we go to my backyard, you can tell I only have 2 mangoes up front there. I'm going to go to my neighbor's backyard and show you some newly planted mango trees. Or some of them are newer, but we have an apricot here. I had no room in my yard and I wanted to get this in the ground. There was a mango on here that I took off, but that's apricot. There. This is a new one I put in. This is a Kesar. My other one's getting shaded out. My neighbor's letting me use his yard, so that's a Kesar. Let's see how they do. This one here is a P22 that I planted last year, and it's doing okay. There's no water on this side, so unless I hand water, I'm not getting it. This was a seedling tree that my neighbor had growing, and I put Pineapple Pleasure attached to it. And it's coming along. We had a couple of mangoes on there last year. I put this in the ground recently. That's Val-Carrie. It's Val-Carrie. Over here, Juicy Peach. Over here, Dwarf Hawaiian. And then this one here. Look at this. Sunrise. Sunrise, look how beautiful. It's just starting to show its fruit. Really nice. Not the best fruit set, but certainly not the worst. Really nice tree. Great fruit. Sunrise. Let's go over to my backyard, which you can kind of see over the fence. Okay, now making our way to my backyard, we have this here, and this is a multi-graft tree. Basically, we have, originally the tree was a Kent mango tree, and we have a Kent branch still there. But I top worked most of it to an Angie and Fairchild. And they're both showing up great, Angie and Fairchild. But this year, I didn't love the Fairchild as much, and I put a Karen Michelle graft. And that Karen Michelle graft took, so we'll see how that goes. Now, this one here probably the last year you'll be seeing this tree in my yard, but maybe not. We'll see, unless it surprises me. Maybe if it hears this, it's going to change its mind. But that's Lemon Zest. And look, some Lemon Zest on there. This one got hit pretty hard with anthracnose this year, but it looks like it's coming back. Lemon Zest. Looking not too bad, I mean, but nowhere near as good as the others. A tree that size should definitely have more fruit on it. And I think I'm going to be top working this tree and putting Honeykiss on there, I think. I'm going to put Honeykiss on there. All right, here is another sweet tart. And I've never seen so much fruit on one tree. That's sweet tart. Over here we have Sugarloaf, which last year I had 3 mangoes. It was the first year, but this year, loaded. Loaded. For a small tree with this much fruit, it's so encouraging. But this is sweet tart. Then we have Cac. One of the best trees to have, one of the best mango trees to have is Cac mango tree. Disease resistance. The only issue with this, I mean, it tastes amazing, is the growth. It grows super vigorous. And then coming around here, this here is my Kerry that I top worked into emerald. There's still some Kerry on there, but it's mostly emerald. Wow. And I also think I have a Taymour branch on there also. Look at those leaves. Those are big. But this is emerald. And for the first year, I'm getting emerald mangoes. Now look at this. I got 2 lemon meringues that are absolutely loaded. Absolutely loaded. Loaded. So that's lemon meringue. And then I have orange sherbet loaded. And I cut this tree back last year and still loaded. And this is the thing why I don't recommend high density gardening. These trees are 12 feet apart, and I'm getting a ton of mangoes on these trees, these lemon meringues, on the outside, but on the inside, nothing. Nothing. So, we live and we learn. Here we have an M4. M4 is doing really well. Nice late season variety, pretty loaded. M4. And then this mango tree was originally a Duncan that I grafted onto it Sunrise. And both of them are on there now, but I'm going to have to start taking off the Duncan this year. I just want to keep the Sunrise. I just got to remember which branch was which. But Duncan and Sunrise are on there. Look at this, folks. Look at this lemon meringue from this side. And coming around in my neighbor's yard like we were just looking at, there's Sunrise. All right, everybody, that's an update of my mango trees. I still have a bunch of other trees also, and I want to start thinning some things out because it's getting tight here. But I'm pleased. I'll do a more formal tour of all my fruit trees here shortly. But I just wanted to give everyone an update. And like I said, I wanted to do an update for myself as well to kind of see how things are progressing and keep everyone updated and keep me updated for historical purposes. And I do recommend people record your trees like this so you can have an idea how they're doing and how they're growing. All right, so there you go, everybody. That is my update. Let me know how your mango trees are doing. And if you want me to come out and film your mango trees, if you're not the type of person to take out a camera and make a video like this, and you're growing mango trees or any fruit trees here in South Florida, and you'd like me to come and film your yard, my email's below. Contact me below, and I'll come out and I'll view your yard, and we can keep documentary of that. Maybe I'll go back every year. All right, so we got so many other great things to talk about this summer, and we still have other great things to discuss that we've been discussing. Please subscribe to this channel if you're not already subscribed. Thank you so much for your support. And remember, as we started the video, I say that now, depending when you're watching this video, remember June 29th in West Palm Beach, Florida, at the convention center, we're going to have the Mango Festival, the Florida Mango Festival. I'm going to put the link below to that. Depending when you're watching this, even if you're watching this after June 29th and you missed it, future years, check it anyway, because we're going to have the 2026, 2027, and all of those mango festivals as well, and updates of this festival this year. So even if it's afterwards, you can see, but it's still more than enough time to get tickets and enjoy the event. You can get there by plane or train or automobile. It's very centrally located, indoor air conditioning, great speakers where you can learn a lot about this so you don't make the mistakes I've made and save yourself a lot of time. And it's just wonderful. And I got a bunch of other trees I don't have room in the ground for that we'll see what's going to happen with those. Some mango trees, some other trees I want to get in the ground. I'll give you an update on all of that. But thank you for watching. Thank you for subscribing, everybody. If you have any ideas or things you want me to film about or talk about in the future, put them below. And thanks again, everybody. Until then, have a great day and keep growing.